Hello, everybody. Welcome to our new Hired and Wired, where the signal is strong and the hiring tea is hot. I'm Emily, the tech recruiter, and every week we're breaking down what's really happening across blockchain, fintech, and AI, who's hiring, what roles are moving, and what it actually takes to get noticed. So we'll talk trends, talent, and the truth behind the market so you can stay sharp, informed, and ahead. So today we're going to talk about 50 plus open jobs that we've done research for over the last week. We are going to talk, I've got a surprise for you. And then we're also going to talk about, a little bit about the change and do live profile reviews. So if you are interested in having your profile reviewed, go ahead and drop me a comment. Say good morning. Who's here today? Let me pull this up. I just got to make sure we are good to go on LinkedIn. Doesn't look like we're good to go on LinkedIn. All right, so whoever is here, good morning. Oh, after the full cycle, I finally volunteered for profile review. Let's get it done. Trevor, good morning. Olivier, good morning. Lynn, good morning. All right, LinkedIn's not working on my end, but I hope it's working on yours. Okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. So let's talk about the expansion into the tech recruiters. So for a while, the market was already telling us something important. What started as a strong niche in crypto recruiting really began, naturally exploding because the clients and the founders were asking for help beyond just crypto specific roles. So we were already supporting searches, adjacent categories, and broader startup functions, but we really hadn't been, seen or public about that shift. So not a sudden change. It's really an evolution of what the business has already been becoming through demand. So there's a lot of things that we're seeing in the market. Companies we work with do not operate in just one box anymore. The same founders building in crypto are also touching AI, fintech, infrastructure, SaaS, compliance, and go-to-market hiring. So all those lines are blurred, and the recruiting needs to be blurred as well. So we kept seeing more requests for talent outside the original crypto lane, and it made it clear the brand needed to reflect the full scope of where we were already delivering value. So this is why it makes sense. It's the tech recruiters is really about aligning the brand with the reality of work. It gives us the room to not stream. Hold on one second. It gives us I took notes. Don't hate me. It gives us the room to speak more directly to the full startup and venture-backed ecosystem we already support. So while still keeping the depth and credibility we built in crypto. So we're not leaving one market behind. It's about expanding the conversation to match where innovation and hiring is actually going. So to the big news. I really don't think this is working on LinkedIn. Is it working on LinkedIn or is it not working on LinkedIn? I don't think we're streaming. Interesting. Let me just take a peek here. Guys, if you're here with me on LinkedIn, say good morning. You know what? This might be because of the company's switchover. Hold on here. You know what? I don't think we're streaming on LinkedIn. Give me a second, guys. Let's switch this to YouTube. We'll drop the link for everybody in YouTube because that is where we are live. Sorry, technical difficulties. It's not even taking my comments. Why is this not working? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hold on one second. Hold on here. Oh my goodness. Why is this not working? I hate this for us. Absolutely hate this for us. I can't even leave a comment. Hold on one sec, guys. There we go. Here we go. Hold on. Stay tuned. Keeping it spicy. Okay, there we go. Whoa. All right, so we are going to be live on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for bearing with me. Let's talk about our big surprise. We have a new addition to the team. Let me bring him up. This is Tyler Rosell. Tyler, hello, welcome.
Hi, Emily. Thanks so much for having me after
Absolutely.
being here for a couple of months. So yeah,
It's been
happy to finally
incredible.
join.
It's been absolutely incredible. So Tyler has led growth market expansion across multiple startups, entering new categories and new verticals. So he brings that kind of operator mindset that's needed for this chapter at the Tech Recruiters. Tyler, I'd love if you've got anything to say, let us know. I mean, I'd love for you to introduce yourself.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess kind of start back. It's like you and I have known each other for 4 or 5 years at least now. From when I spent 10 years in China, and actually when I moved back, you're one of the first people I reached out to. In China, I was doing blockchain there for over 7 years, starting back in 2017 to 18. Founded my own company, and then when I moved back, went on to work for multiple other blockchain companies, exchanges, startups. But so you and I always stayed in touch. I've joined many of these blockchain brunches now. It's excited about the new chapter in Hired and Wired.
Yep.
And then
Which was
I think
your idea, by the way, which I love.
appreciate
Take
that.
credit.
You know, just a same format, different voice. And then hopefully, as we've discussed over the past couple of months, as we look towards these new verticals and kind of new expansion, is like bringing a lot more insight and data. And I think that's really where I specialize in really speaking to the value that we can provide. Not, everything that you have been doing in the company and the team's been doing has been phenomenal. That speaks to the 400 placements. It speaks to the retention rate. But like getting back to like where the signals really are these days, with the market moving so quickly, with all the new tech, with AI really having a big influence in these job opportunities as well, and the market's changing so much, I really want to provide that insight. And I think that's something that we can do, with this new format and as we build.
Totally agree. And I'm so grateful for you to be here. Thank you guys for joining us on YouTube. Trevor, good morning. Ian, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining. So there's a couple things we want to dive into. Let me pull this up. So what can you expect? Tyler kind of touched on this, but we can expect a lot more content, commentary, and discussions around the trend shaping the hiring growth across tech. So get ready for the content. We have created the new page, the Tech Recruiters. Take a peek. I think it's really good. And the website, fabulous. So why don't we talk about open roles? And Tyler, I know you've got a client call coming up, so if you need to jump, totally understand. Sledge, good morning from sunny South Africa. Riley, I subbed. Thank you so much. No need to, but I mean, you're welcome.
Yeah, let me jump off and then I will join next week as well and hopefully provide a lot more value and insight and have a longer conversation with everyone.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Good
Thank you guys so much. Look forward to working with everyone. Cheers. Talk to you soon.
So guys, if you are looking for a profile review, just drop your LinkedIn URL in the YouTube chat so I can pull your LinkedIn up and we can get started on that. Know what that's about, but we're going to figure that out together. Let's do this. So open jobs. It's March 25th, 2026, and the crypto versus TradFi war is over. The convergence is here. So we're seeing Straight Street and Franklin Templeton hiring the same AI and blockchain engineers as OpenAI and Monad. So if you want a job today, don't just say you know crypto. Show that you understand regulated infrastructure and AI automation. A lot of this is going to be, working with AI and who can implement it and run it. So we need to brush up on those skills. I have so many clients and candidates in interviews that are being asked, How do you use AI on a daily basis? How do you use AI to make yourself more efficient? So we're not getting rid of crypto. So let's talk about our crypto jobs. The institutional and the fintech bridge. So these are traditional giants like MasterCard and State Street moving trillions on chain. So MasterCard is hiring a crypto product director, a blockchain engineer, and a merchant cloud lead. So global payments giant integrating blockchain for instant settlements. They are building the MasterCard Crypto Partner Program. So they're bridging card rails with USDC for real-time merchant payouts. So those roles are kind of averaging 180 to 260K USD. State Street, digital assets product lead, a fund admin manager, and a tokenization lead. So they're a big three custodian bank moving into digital asset infrastructure. They're automating the tokenization of mutual funds and ETFs for institutional pension plans. Salaries for those roles are ranging 165 to 245. So just to clarify, guys, this is research that I've done over the week. This doesn't mean like these roles are still open. I believe they are, but this is research I started last Wednesday. And the ranges apply based off the information that I found. Some of them are posted, some of them are not. Franklin Templeton is hiring an AI enablement lead. We just talked about that. A blockchain architect and summer interns. They're a global investment firm putting mutual funds on the blockchain, and they are building a new team to create custom AI agents that accelerate internal research and document analysis for on-chain funds. Salaries there, 175 to 250. Interns, about 31 bucks an hour. We all know Circle. They're hiring a VP Global Capital Markets, a senior director for security ops, and a growth manager. They're the issuer of USDC. I think we all know that. The world's leading regulated stablecoin, and they're preparing for a massive IPO and scaling their liquidity rails as the Genius Act standardizes US stablecoin laws. Those roles are ranging 174 to 350. Am I talking too fast? Let me know if I'm talking too fast. I allow screen sharing of my profile. Olivier, perfect. I saw your comment on LinkedIn. Thank you for permission and being proactive about that. Let me pull you up here. Ah, yes, you're the one that commented earlier. Thank you so much. All right, so we'll dive into that once we're finished with the jobs. Does that sound okay to you, Olivier? Is it Oliver or Olivier? Please let me know. Let's talk about the infrastructure, the plumbing that keeps Global Financial OS running. Monad Foundation, senior software engineer for low latency C++, head of DeFi and workplace operations. This would be great for chief of staffs, HR, and admins for Office. So they're building an ultra high speed parallel. Emily, come on. So they're launching their New York City hybrid hub, and they're hiring a low latency expert to build a chain that can handle global scale trading. So they're offering a salary between 200 to 300, varying between those roles. Polygon Labs, senior protocol engineer, an engineering manager for payments, and a senior SRE. They are scaling the Ethereum through the ag layer and zero knowledge tech. They're integrating diverse blockchains into a single internet of value, so users don't have to bridge manually. Those salaries range 190 to 435. Let's talk about Kraken. They're hiring a security engineer, a digital banking lead, and a cryptography director. So we all know they're a top-tier US exchange. They're aggressively hiring to build out their own digital banking division following new regulatory charters. So those ranges are 150 to 280. Binance, hiring a front-end engineer for their Web3 wallet, AI data scientist, and senior QA engineer. They're the world's largest ecosystem by volume. So they're scaling their AI financial security system and building self-custody tools for the next 100 million users. Those roles range from 127 to 588,000, but the average there is 210. Let's talk about on-chain culture and efficiency. So this is the focus on DeFi gaming and the future of work. Anthropic, AI policy lead, a workforce researcher, and an applied AI engineer. They're the creators of Claude, and they're researching ghost recession. So of white-collar work, helping enterprises deploy AI tools responsibly. Hold on one second, guys. Hello, Charlie. I'm on a live. Can I call you right back? Is that okay? Charlie, I'll call you right back. Is that okay? Okay. I'll call, give me like 45 minutes. Sorry? Oh, Charlie, I'm on a live right now. I'm on a YouTube live, so I can't chat, but I wanted to take your call. Okay. Perfect. I'll make myself available. All right, bye. Sorry, we were breaking up because he was in the car. So Arza Games, combat RPG designer, a technical artist, and a senior producer. They are a AAA gaming studio bringing high quality gameplay to Web3. So they're proving that Web3 games can compete with PlayStation and Xbox in terms of combat, depth, and graphics. So 140 to 220 salary ranges there. Talking about AI, and then we're going to get into fintech. Perplexity, they're hiring a software engineer, which is a new grad. So if you just graduated, and I know I've got a lot of new grads in the audience, this is a great role for you at Perplexity. So they're also hiring a senior search engineer and an AI researcher. They're the world's leading AI native search engine, and they are scaling their real-time answer engine to compete with Google. So they're aggressively hiring for 2026 new grads to build out their core infrastructure. So for a new grad, they're targeting 190 to 240 salaries. And for senior roles, they're going all the way up to 700. So I think those are incredible opportunities. Mistral AI is hiring an applied AI engineer. They're hiring a network engineer and an AI developer advocate. So they're Europe's premier open source AI lab. They're expanding their forward deployed teams to help global enterprises implement their models directly on site in Paris, London, and Singapore. They're looking for, so this network engineer is like competitive EU rates, but the senior machine learning engineer, 200 to 350. That's based on global benchmarks. And then Anthropic. They're hiring an AI policy lead, a workforce researcher, and an applied AI engineer. Actually, we just talked about Anthropic. No, we talked about Perplexity. Okay, so creators of Claude focus on constitutional AI and safety, launching a massive research project into, no, we did. Okay, moving on. Look, fintech giants, let's talk about them. So these are the digital payment rails and the neobanks. They are rewriting the rules of money. Stripe, software engineer, level 3, level 4, a data scientist, and a technical recruiter. Someone tell Stripe that we're taking on new clients. The financial infrastructure for the internet is what Stripe does. They are aggressively expanding in Chicago, which is where I am, and South San Francisco. Their office, I believe, is on Wacker in Chicago, right downtown. They're focused on automating merchant onboarding and scaling their high volume payment processing. Salary-wise, anywhere between 182 to 419. Plaid is hiring a senior machine learning engineer for fraud, a data scientist, and a FinOps lead. So they're the data bridge between bank accounts and apps like Venmo or Robinhood. They're scaling the network value teams to use for AI, real-time ACH payment, risk assessment, and fraud detection. They're offering a salary of 176 to 243 base, depending on location and time zone. And then we've got Nubank. They're hiring a software engineer, a Java architect, and a data scientist. They're the world's largest they're Latin America's largest digital bank, and they're expanding their international division based in the US to help manage their 100 million plus customer data infrastructure. Average range there, 250 to 369 TC. So I guess what we're talking about is the agent premium. Roles focus on autonomous agents, are currently paying 25% premium over standard SaaS engineering roles. Verification is king. So hiring managers at Stripe are increasingly asking for GitHub portfolios and demonstrative live production level experience. So this is not just sandbox projects. The 2026 pivot, many fintechs have shifted their hiring away from customer support and towards AI risk leaders who can manage automated compliance systems. Okay, there we go. Those are the jobs I pulled up for you today. Okay, are we back? Are we back? We're just having all the technical difficulties? Okay, all the technical difficulties. Hong, good morning. Oliver, Olivier suits me as well. Let's do Oliver. All right, so Oliver, thank you for giving me permission to share the screen on your profile. Give me 1 second. Oh, the event's live on LinkedIn. Thanks so much. All right, here we go. Oh, Oliver, thank you for following me since 2022. Okay, now StreamYard is telling me we're having an issue with LinkedIn. Shocker. Share screen. Oliver, hold on, let me zoom in on this. Okay, that's too much zoom. Hold on, here we go. I gotta close my chats. So that way we maintain privacy. Alrighty, dighty. Oliver, welcome to the stage. Are you winning, son? Hold up, Dad. I'm re-architecting the global finance infrastructure with some friends. That's cute. I like it, but it's not overly professional. So I think this gives me some great insight into your personality. But I don't know that I would pick this as my tagline, or not tagline, a banner photo. Full stack finance partner, TradFi, CFi, DeFi, great, but I want to understand more about what this means. So when you come to the bottom of your profile, institutional strategic advisor, infrastructure and internet capital markets, digital assets trading product owner. So my question for you is, it sounds like you're more of a product person. If you were to send me a connection request, all I would see are the first 5 words on your profile, on your tagline. So I see your name, your picture, your tagline. So I think it's really important to be very strategic here about what you do. So when someone looks at your profile, it's automatically, okay, Oliver does this. Let's accept his connection request. I get hundreds of connection requests a week, and LinkedIn used to have this like snazzy ability. It was like a dating app. Like you could swipe left or right on different profiles to connect with them or not. That is no more. Now you have to actually open up each profile, take a look, see if you want to connect with them, or you can press accept or reject just based off their name, their picture, their tagline. So for easy convenience, people are doing that. They're just making decisions based off your tagline. So I think being a little more educational here would be really beneficial. 10 years of TradFi, 5 years DeFi trenches, blah, blah, blah. This is good. However, so this is good, but I would add spaces between this. This is just a lot of text. And my concern is that someone that's not, okay, let's talk about our audience for a second. Let's have that conversation. So our audience, who's the first person looking at our resume? Who's the person that, is spending, 8 to 10 hours, 5 to 8 hours a day, because who works 8 to 10 hours anymore? Not the younger generation. But they're spending their whole day looking at resumes, just flipping through them, right? $15 an hour, flipping through resumes all day long. So if this level of professional can't understand your resume, they're going to move over. They're just going to move on to someone where they understand exactly what offer they bring. The mission. I don't find you institutionalized. I like this. This is personal, but instead of the mission, do my mission. It's time to re-architect the global financial infrastructure. I like that. But again, this is all, it's hard to read, right? It's hard to space out. Crypto class 2017, DGen DeFi class 2021. Piper, hello. Top skills, beautiful. Love this. Featured links, beautiful. Now, the one thing is, tu parles français? So if you are targeting roles in the United States, make sure that we have some posts here that are in English. Not that that's a problem. It's just if you want someone to read your post that's based in the US, which it looks like you're looking for a job in the US, let's educate them that you know exactly what they're talking about and they don't assume that you don't speak English based off your featured, right? So what I'm getting at is someone, I hate to say it, someone's looking at your profile, scan, stop, featured, all French. So the concern is do they continue to scan to see the post? They might stop here. So maybe we switch up our feature or add a couple things in there. Now, I love that you are posting on LinkedIn. Absolutely love it. You've got, let's see here. Let's pull this up. Beautiful. So quick. So, okay, so this is really good. However, you, in your LinkedIn post, just a pro tip, space this out so it's a little easier to read. Scrolling down. Okay, I like this. So key impact. You've got everything that you really had success with right up here. Notable achievements. I love this. Don't forget to have a little sentence about like day to day. What tools were you using? How many people did you manage? So I think achievements and key impact is great, but we also need to understand where did you make an impact on the day to day. HexArt, oh, really important. You have a sense of what the company does. Beautiful. That not only adds keywords, but it educates the reader about the type of company that you come from. So the goal is to make it as convenient as possible for this person to understand that you're a fit for the role. And it's always easiest to find a job in a company that's similar to what you've previously done because you don't need ramp up time, right? You can come in and hit the ground running. So great that you have that there. Key impact, notable achievements, core responsibilities. This is what I'm looking for at the other role. Love that you have this team of 8, orchestrated operations, including training, vendor selection, third-party vendors. Beautiful. I love that you've got your skills tagged here. So this is a secret sauce. So how LinkedIn works, and LinkedIn is where I do most of my recruiting, is I can search for keywords. And whoever has those words on their profile, they come up in a list. What's interesting is those that have the most of the same keyword, they come up first. So by tagging each skill to the position, you're adding that keyword one more time. LinkedIn hasn't figured out a way to make that not a thing. So keep doing that to hack the system. Top 10 bank worldwide. Beautiful. Of course, yeah, this is beautiful. And I hope your resume looks something similar. Again, skills tagged. A consultant. Correspondent. I mean, this looks really good. And I love that you've got media attached here. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. Dates of education are not to be found on your profile. Perfect. Your education dates are just going to date you. Dates date you. It's just going to tell people how old you are, and that does not matter. That should not determine the role that you are qualified for, and that should not determine your salary. Keep scrolling down. Hold on a second. Okay, so we've got our certifications. Beautiful. Projects. Love this. I think having your projects built out is really important because this shows that you're still actively involved in the industry. Volunteering, beautiful. Skills. Now, I hope you know you can organize these skills. So the top 2 that you want to be on here, you can make those top 2 right there. So don't be afraid to reorganize these, especially if you want to be in fintech. If you want to be in crypto, let's have fintech, crypto, top skill. Recommendations 12. Beautiful. I love that. And they're relatively recent. So recommendations. This tells people, hey, I did a good job, but 2, I'm a real profile. We're having a lot of challenges right now with fake profiles on LinkedIn. So this validates that you're a real profile. Publications, beautiful. Courses, beautiful. Honors and awards. I mean, this is an incredibly built out profile. Languages. Anglais. Let's put English. Interest, causes, beautiful, beautiful. I really like this profile. I'm going to stop sharing for a second so I can look at you on the back end. Okay, beautiful. So Oliver, I'm going to show you what the back end of LinkedIn looks like. I'm normally not able to do this because usually there's like contact information attached, but this is something you need to see at the stage. Okay, beautiful. So, nope, that's the front end. Let's do the back end. Share this tab instead. Okay, So this is the back end of LinkedIn, ladies and gentlemen. This is what your profile looks like on my subscription that I spend ungodly amounts on. So you'll notice that everything here is in one giant piece of text. That's where it's really important you build that out in the front end of LinkedIn on your regular profile. You've got core responsibilities attached here to Hexark, but you'll notice your other, what is happening here? Your other experiences aren't tagged. Okay, so LinkedIn might be bugging right now. And usually it says, interesting. LinkedIn is not capturing your most recent experience. Ugh, I'm gonna have to call LinkedIn. Here I am on LinkedIn Live bashing LinkedIn, but literally, like, here's an example of it not working. I want my money back. So Hexark is showing, is that actually the most recent one? No, you've got Talent Consulting. Interesting. So back end of LinkedIn isn't necessarily working. But what's cool is we know that we need to reformat this. We know that the bottom part of our profile, the description of our profile is working. And what's cool is when you attach a resume, when you apply to a job, it'll actually pull things off your resume and add it to the back end of LinkedIn. I don't have an example for you because when someone uploads their resume, then I get their contact information, but that's how that works. Does anybody have any questions? I know we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, we're all over the place. Let me just check LinkedIn, see if we've got anything there. Okay. Doesn't look like we've got anything there. All right, beautiful. So, guys, why don't we wrap up for today? Well, Oliver, I hope that was a helpful profile review. Overall, 8 out of 10. I think it was great. Very well built out. Keywords are there. I just would change the banner photo and the tagline. But other than that, I think you are golden. Guys, thank you for coming to our first Hired and Wired. It was a little nerve-wracking, but thank you for all your support. I'm sorry it wasn't working on LinkedIn. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you here next Wednesday, 10:30 Central. Bye, guys.